Hello everyone! If you notice that your pedaling is skipping, your gears aren't shifting properly, or your cogs look more like shark teeth than anything else, it's time for a checkup. Don't worry, today we're going to show you how to identify, remove and replace your cassette or freewheel. For this task, you will need a chain whip and a cassette remover. If you're removing a freewheel, you will need a specific freewheel remover, a large adjustable wrench, or a socket wrench with its adapter, and a rag. Before breaking out the tools, the first question to ask is, do I have a cassette or a freewheel? This is the most common question we get, and the answer is actually pretty simple. If you have a cassette, you'll see a lock ring with splines at the very center. This is what holds the gear cluster onto the freehub body. The tool to remove it, the cassette remover, has splines that fit perfectly inside. You'll also need a chain whip to hold the gears in place. If you have a freewheel, the ratcheting mechanism is built directly into the gear cluster, which screws onto the hub. To recognize it, look at the center. You'll see deeper notches. The tool to remove it, the freewheel remover, has teeth that match those notches. Note that for the freewheel, you don't need a chain whip. Alright, let's roll up our sleeves. To make things easier, we'll start by removing the chain. Shift it onto the smallest cog and the small chain ring. Now, bring out your master link pliers. Find the link, position the pliers, and squeeze. The chain disconnects all by itself. Next, remove the rear wheel. It's much easier without the chain. Unscrew the skewer and pull the wheel out. Here's a little pro tip. Put the quick release skewer back together immediately so you don't lose the springs, and pay attention to the direction of the springs. This is the trickiest part, but we've got this. For a cassette, take the cassette tool and insert it firmly into the lock ring. Then, grab the chain whip. Position the chain whip on the cogs to block them. The direction of the whip is important. You want to prevent the cassette from spinning backwards. Now, insert your wrench, or socket handle, into the cassette tool. Position the two tools at a 10-10 position, like on a clock, and use your body weight to loosen the lock ring. Once it spins freely, the lock ring comes off easily. Now, to remove a freewheel, we use the freewheel remover. Insert it into the notches. Fit your large wrench on your socket wrench with its adapter and turn counterclockwise. It might be very tight because pedaling naturally screws it on, so give it a firm push. Reassembly is just the opposite of removal, and it's usually easier. For the cassette, look for the keyway, the one spline that is narrower than the others. Align it with the freehub body and it will slide right on. Now, important to note, do not use grease on the splines. Put the cogs back in order. Thread the lock ring by hand first, then tighten it firmly with the tool until you hear a few clicks. For the freewheel, simply thread it onto the hub by hand. Make sure it's straight. You don't even need to tighten it with a tool. Your first pedal stroke will lock it in place. Put the wheel back on the bike and be careful with the direction of the quick release springs. Finally, install the chain. Follow the derailleur path. Put the chain on the smallest cog and use the master link. Apply pressure to the pedal to lock the link with a click. There you go. And remember, it's always recommended to change your chain at the same time as your cassette to extend the life of your drivetrain. If you have any questions, feel free to visit one of our Decathlon workshops or leave a comment. Safe riding!